Well, scaling small business online, they say, is a little bit difficult. However, if you manage to get it right significantly, you'll definitely also get to experience significant dividends. And I mean, that's a conversation that we'll be having this morning. Esther Kamau, Marketing and Communications Lead with Twiva, is with us to decipher on this and also tell us just how SMEs or MSMEs can as well get into this space and find a great niche for business, which is very, very important, and niche as well in the e-commerce world. Not an easy world, they say, but it's an honor to have you this morning. You sit with so much confidence, and that tells me that, of course, we have great message for the people who are watching us this morning. Esther, it's an honor to have you. Just first of all, let's start by telling us what Twiva is before we delve deep into understanding this very important conversation, because then we get to know what Twiva is, what it is that you do, and it gives us the confidence that this is the right person to speak to us this morning.
Right. Thank you so much, Linda. My name is Esther, as you've mentioned.
Right.
And I'll explain what we do at Twiva and why the MSME conversation is extremely important for us to be involved in. So what we do at Twiva is we are a startup organization. So we've only been in the market since 2019. That would be March of 2019. And the reason for which we exist is that we connect micro, small and medium enterprises with influencers. Now, ours is a digital platform. It's a digitally enabled tool. And what it does is that today we remove the human bias that is sometimes businesses, especially MSMEs, cannot be able to afford influencers, especially sometimes when they want to work with the macro celebrity influencers. And we remove that bias by helping them do something that we refer to as social commerce, where a business today only lists their products. So let's say you are in thrift business, which is one of the categories that dominate our sites. You get onto the platform, you register, you add your products, say you have a number of dresses that you sell. Once you list your products, that's all you have to do on the platform today.
Okay.
Then what happens on the other end, we have nano and micro influencers that register. And today we know that influencers are niche specific. So we have influencers that influence in beauty, fashion, electronics, tech, you name it. So once an influencer registers on the platform and they realize, oh, there's a business that's selling thrift, that influencer has more capability to sell that dress as opposed to an MSME selling the product by themselves. So assume you have 1,000 influencers that are all in the fashion business. It means that when a business lists different items, apparel, that one piece of, let's say, a dress would be listed by 1,000 influencers, and these influencers at this point have automated their social media shops, so their Instagrams, their Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. So that one apparel is showing up on 1,000 social media shops.
So there are arrangements as to how then this plays out in terms of, again, how do these influencers get the monetary value? How does it then culminate to business for this main person that then is the MSME? And most importantly, how are you as a platform then, making as well something out of this? But even before it gets to that very level, what is the process of doing due diligence? Because with influencers, we know they are there, but we also understand that in this world of technology, there's a lot of shenanigans that play around. People buy numbers today. You'd look at my account, perhaps it has 2,000 followers. Before you know it, the next morning I have like 10 million and all that. And we all understand what plays out as pertaining to that. I have heard people arguing that in such numbers that are generated, you rarely get results, you rarely get feedback. So how do you conduct this due diligence on behalf of the MSMEs to give them the confidence that then this is indeed an influencer, and chances are if they pick your product, then you are likely to sell?
That's a fantastic question, and it brings us to the core of digitizing MSMEs and why it's important to do your due diligence to ensure that, again, when a business lists a product, it's not bots that are selling their products. It's not, we're not doing it just for the showbiz. We have a platform, register, no. So today what we do, we actually have a social listening tool
Okay.
And it's an extremely comprehensive tool in the sense that it pulls different data points that belong to an influencer. So let's say you are on Twitter and you say you have 10,000 followers. If 30% of your followers are bots, the system actually pulls them out as bots.
Okay.
So we have an influencer discovery module. So meaning a business can actually be able to see the influencers that they would want to work with. So when they go to that particular provision on the platform, and let's say they want to work with Twitter influencers, they can actually see this person has, if the person on Twitter has 10,000 followers, the system shows them that they have 7,000 followers because those are real accounts, real followers. And then another thing that we do, so this is in protecting businesses. Now in protecting influencers, one of the things that we do is that we also regulate the number, or rather the type of products or services that are listed on the platform. Okay. So there are services that or products that we cannot allow on our platform.
Why?
Either they are counterfeit,
fraud.
Okay. It could be, let's say, things to do with illegal products, products that sometimes have an immoral inclination.
And so how do you establish this? First of all, the system does, or then again you also have to go through that process of due diligence and getting to know the SME person, or maybe get to know the person who's selling this service or this product, have a conversation with them for them to be allowed then to have their product or their service on the platform?
Ours is more of a hybrid type of communication.
Okay.
So obviously there's the manual follow-up, so in terms of enabling a business to understand the terms and conditions prior. But even the platform allows them to understand that by the time they're getting to the registration process, you can be able to list these products and you cannot be able to list these products. And then the AI tools are also able to pick out the products that have been banned by the platform. So whether they're counterfeit, whether they're illegal, the platform is able to decipher that and make sure that those products are not listed. Therefore, they cannot be showcased to the influencer, because that is what happens. The system automatically showcases certain products depending on what an influencer has listed as their interest. Whether it's clothing, tech, the system showcases you'd be interested in these products. So therefore we cannot afford to show influencers products that are not real, because one of the reasons why we work with influencers, and in this case specifically nano and micro influencers, is because that is where the conversion lies. I mean, macro and celebrity influencers are great because they do give you a certain level of awareness, but where the conversion is, what MSMEs are looking for today is sales. Right? So they want to scale. They want to learn how can I make more money as a small business.
Before we get to that, because then I'll definitely want to know how do we increase the profit generation aspect, but most importantly, step by step, for us to understand, first of all, what is the importance and the effect of digital marketing, and why then should the MSMEs get into this space, knowing very well that, we're even talking about the medium ones, the small ones, those ones that are just making baby steps to get up, and therefore they perhaps look at this as a space that is a little bit expensive. They might not see it necessary in the times of inception. So how important is it?
It's extremely important. It's actually, and maybe to paraphrase one of the quotes that one of the celebrity influencers in this country uses a lot, is that if your business is not online, it doesn't exist. Because what happens today, since COVID, at least in Kenya alone, 24% of MSMEs have gone for the e-commerce adoption model of business. So you find that you're looking for more platforms where you can be seen. You're looking for places where you can be able to conduct online shopping seamlessly. So why it's important is that, number one, it gives you the awareness that your business needs. So if I'm a small business and I'm selling apparel at River Road and people don't know that I exist, then I'm depending on foot traffic or word of mouth or walk-ins, which is okay, but it's not the most effective. So part of the reason why it's important for MSMEs to go online is that over and above the awareness, they also enhance efficiencies. So it also creates a seamless end-to-end user experience. So number one, I know that you exist. You sell something that I love. For instance, today, baby items are extremely popular. So if I'm a new mother, then it means that I want to go online and find a store that can sell me baby items, whatever I need for me as a mother, because I would be the target audience for that MSME. So then it becomes easier for you as the MSME to be able to give me information in terms of where I'm located, delivery, time of delivery, the price, and even the payment systems. So we are also finding that MSMEs have also started to integrate digital forms of payment, where you integrate payment gateways. And that's also one thing that TWIVA does, because it's important for us to make the process of purchase as easy as possible.
Before it even gets to that, understanding of the platforms, very, very important. Understanding of the rules of these ones that you contract to work on your behalf as brand ambassadors, as influencers, very, very important. Understanding of the platform itself is equally very, very important. Most of the people will tell you, I'm just starting business, I'm not tech savvy.
Right.
And therefore, I really need to have a background understanding of this. Really need to know how this operates, how TWIVA works, for instance, how then I generate revenue, how do I pick my money, how do I get to, you know, accord confidence to people who are also consuming my products or my services. Just how do they get into this space? You might need to tell us how do they get to understand, you know, whether then they'd have to go through some classes for them to know that this is how you go about it.
Fantastic. Perhaps I should start by saying, what is one of the biggest barriers that MSMEs face online? They don't always have the right digital marketing skills.
Yeah.
And where do influencers thrive? Influencers are good at content creation. That is part of the reason why our platform integrates the use of social media influencers, because when you look at it, it's creating value for the MSME in terms of the MSME does not have to create value or content around their product, because the influencer, and by the way,
it starts to do that.
Yes, we like to call them online resellers.
Okay.
Because for us, if you have a social media presence, if you have an engagement, and you can be able to move a product and make a significant sale for a business, then you are an influencer, because by essence you are influencing the people that follow you and engage with your content. So MSMEs do not necessarily have the capacity to create good content, not all of them, and today we are seeing so many of them really invest in creating content. But one of the things that they struggle with sometimes is aping. So I saw business A doing this on social media, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Right.
But what you forget is that every audience is unique. So the audience that is unique for that business may not be necessarily unique for yours. So when you ape a certain type of content strategy that you've seen on a different MSME thinking that it would work for you, it doesn't necessarily work.
Okay.
So what are some of the things that you do as TWIVA to mitigate that particular challenge? Number one, we offer masterclass sessions.
Okay.
And one of the things that we have done, as a matter of fact, starting today, is that we have rolled out a series of masterclass sessions for MSMEs. And these masterclass sessions are meant to empower these MSMEs to actually scale and grow online. Because that's the future. If 24% of MSMEs have taken up online marketing and social commerce since COVID, then it only makes sense that you need to learn how to remain competitive. You need to become efficient. You need to digitize your business processes. So we take them through, number one, why must you have an online presence? Because you must be seen. If I don't know your business exists, chances are I'll never make a purchase. But imagine in a world where 79% of consumers in Kenya shop online, why wouldn't your business be online? And then it doesn't just stop there. It's, let's say, for us it's social commerce, marketing and selling via social media. But then it's also understanding that you need to incorporate digital tools that make the process easier. So for instance, our tool allows you at no cost to work with influencers.
Okay.
And I know you mentioned that we'll get to that, where influencers can mark up and you know, earn significantly from the platform. So we run masterclasses on why you need to be online, and then where you need to be seen online. because that's equally important. How to automate your processes online, because we also want to make the consumer experience extremely good, because today you could give a customer 9 amazing experiences and 1 awful experience,
and they stick to that.
Oh yeah, they will remember that 1 awful experience. Maybe it's delayed communication, they don't respond to DMs, and even addressing mistakes that businesses make in this masterclass. Businesses sometimes, let's say for instance, they tell you DM for prices. That's a turn off, but most businesses don't know that. It makes you lose trust with your online consumers.
So what are you supposed to do? Like put the price there outright or what? I mean,
I would encourage you to watch our masterclass sessions
I need
today.
to do that. I really need to, because I'd imagine that you also do not know. I don't know why they do that. They will not tell you the prices. They just tell DM for prices, call for prices, and then you wonder, why do you have to do that?
Exactly, and it's quite the turn off for a lot of consumers, because it almost shows distrust. Then it means you're DMing me a different price, and DMing Linda a different price, and DMing someone else a different price. Maybe you're going and doing a baseline survey of their Instagram or whatever platform they're on, and deciding, okay, this person, I'll tell them this, I'll tell this one that, and you lose customers. Sometimes you're not putting contacts on your page. If somebody wants to reach you, the communication is really slow. And this is a masterclass that we have rolled out with Caroline Motoko. And one of the things that she mentions is the world today is online. It's a global village. So sometimes even having an 8 to 5 doesn't always work.
Right.
Because you're in a different time zone, I'm in a different time zone. So if
8 to 5 is not 8 to 5.
It's not 8 to 5. Yes. It's not 8 to 5. And one of the things that she talks about in this masterclass, obviously you'd have to go to our website to see the full masterclass and really gain value out of it, is that when a business responds promptly to a consumer, say for instance, sometimes it's even at 7, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at night, the next day they always have a sale. Okay. But businesses today sometimes want, okay, I'm not saying work for the entirety of the night, absolutely not, but have that open line of communication, because sometimes it's as simple as, hey, I saw a bag on your platform and I just want to know, how can I get it? Especially if all the contacts is there. The next step of communication is always, how can I get my bag? And sometimes when you've even indicated, we do countrywide deliveries, call us, WhatsApp, you have made the communication as broad as possible. It's easier for you to make a sale. All right, now let's talk about making a sale. And I know we haven't exhausted so much in regards to the masterclass, but like you rightfully put it, your website. What's your website? So they can also watch out for the masterclass. So our website is twiva.com. Or just when you search Twiva and just click on it, you'll be able to see the training sessions under the training page, or just when you go to the website, it's all over our social media pages. We are Twiva Influence on Instagram, Twiva on Twitter. We're on Facebook, we're on Pinterest, we are everywhere, because again, we are in the space of digital transformation. I agree. Yes. And like you rightfully put it, also it's incumbent upon the MSMEs to make sure that they also in their own special way scale up these businesses by, of course, improving the customer service, improving data collection rate, reduce the error risk in most cases. All this, clients are always on the lookout. Well, it is one thing to have lots of comments, lots of feedback, lots of phone calls, lots of follow-ups, but it is another to generate that sale, to make sure that at least then you have sold it, and at the end of the day you see now this is money in, and then the business is on for the next of decades. How do you do that? Wonderful. So what we do is exactly what I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, which is social commerce and automating the process of working with influencers. So as mentioned earlier, today a business doesn't have to incur an upfront cost. So when you think about it, it becomes a more scalable business model. Yeah. Because what is happening today is that a business is paying for the prospect of a sale. Okay. So if I work with an influencer, I might make a sale, I might reach bigger digital markets. It's always a might, And even influencers, and they're doing an amazing work. I mean, influencers are really learning to capitalize and monetize their influence, and it's amazing to see, and we remain grateful to be in a space that also edifies influencers. So that said, today when a business lists a product, one of the ways that they make sure that they can make a sale and capture value is that the influencer retains a markup. I'll give you an example. If I have, say, a phone, if there are 1,000, or let's say even bare minimum, 500 influencers that are selling a phone, and that phone is retailing for, say, 25,000, if an influencer decides to sell that phone for 5,000, it means that they retain their markup of 5,000. So the business has not gone at any loss. Of course, we do capture a certain commission or monthly subscription as a company, but it's very reasonable, because we also understand that the business needs to stay in business.
Yeah.
And if they can gain value from the platform, which is what all startups endeavor to do at the initial formative stages of business, if they can see value in it, then they would be willing to invest more. So a business today just has to list, put their price, an influencer comes and says, okay, I think I can sell this for an extra 1,000 bob or 500 bob. Okay. And then they retain their markup. So the influencer automatically gets an e-shop once they register. You add products to your e-shop, you connect your social media pages. So these are your WhatsApp, your YouTubes, your Facebook, your Instagram, your WhatsApp. And in future, we would also be gravitating towards TikTok. And then you get an e-shop, you share your e-shop link, and then you're able to expose that to all your followers. You're able to optimize, you're able to create content around product, and it becomes more sustainable because it's about how well you can sell. And we see influencers selling, they have online market days. They do. They have online market days, they have all this amazing content that they're trying to do in terms of monetizing. So ours is just to automate that process.
And there's yes, as you automate, there's an actual way of, determining that these are the sales from this influencer. Because remember, while the influencer is doing it, I would want to assume that, as well, the brand is not just seated. Definitely, they're also trying in their own ways to sell their product. So it is almost clear cut that this is money, or this is business that hails from this side of the influencer?
Yes. So what happens is, anytime an influencer makes a sale, again, the platform is extremely automated, so they'll get a notification. So the business gets a notification that a sale has been made, and then the influencer on the other end is notified that this consumer has bought your product. So they have a dashboard where they can actually be able to see their earnings. So they can see their earnings, and then after a certain duration of time, they can go ahead and withdraw their earnings.
See, if we tell them every single detail, they might not register for the masterclass. Can you tell them how to do that as we come to a close, Esther?
Right, so how to register for the masterclass that starts today. The masterclass sessions run every Tuesday. So we're going to be starting with 4 episodes, and this is known as the Empowering MSMEs Masterclass with Caroline Mutoko. And part of the reason why we've partnered with her is because she's also
an influencer.
She understands the digital space. She understands the challenges that businesses face. So the sessions start today from 10 a.m. every Tuesday for the next 4 weeks, and they'll be going live on our website. That's www.twiva.com under the training section. It's very clear on the website, so it's free. It's free access. Feel free to watch them, engage with us on our social media pages where we are constantly posting updates. And every Tuesday at 10 a.m. you can expect to have one session building on another,
www.twiva.com.
Exactly.
I got it right.
Yes.
So in 30 minutes you're on.
Yes,
right?
yes,
I'll allow you to
minutes.
proceed and prepare for the same. Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Remember, as they would rightfully say, that if your business is not in the digital world,
it doesn't exist.
It does not exist. So please make sure and strive to ensure that your business is in the digital space, so that we also get to know what it is that you offer in terms of service as well as the products that you sell. I know this is quite a huge conversation that would require more time, but we are grateful for the little that we have picked And like you rightfully put it again, the masterclass session that is on every Tuesday. Why don't you take advantage of the same and see how then you can grow your business to the next level. It is an honor having you this morning, Esther Kamau. Santi Sana. Esther Kamau, Marketing and Communication Lead with TWIVA. We close it here. Not in totality. There's still so much lined up for you right here on TV 47. Please do not go anywhere. My name is Linda Alela. I get to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.